as we're speaking, over in Saudi Arabia, it is PFL versus Bellator in the world of MMA. It is their first soiree in the world of MMA over in Saudi Arabia. PFL obviously buying out Bellator. And tonight they have scheduled a champions versus champions night. Very similar, I suppose, to what boxing fans are going to experience with Matchroom versus Queensberry. I'm not going to give it away because just in case you've recorded it and you want to watch it a little bit later on. But interesting to see in attendance Francis Ngannou. Obviously, he is a PFL registered fighter, former UFC heavyweight champion. He's connected to the PFL in more ways than just fighting. And this week we did see a little bit of news coming out from the PFL that their main event this evening, again, not going to give it away, between Ryan Bader, the Bellator champion, and the PFL champion Renan Ferreira, get there eventually. The winner of that will be welcoming Francis Ngannou back to the smart cage at some point. Interesting to see John Jones in attendance.
John Jones, Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I'll just remove the matchsticks from my eyes because it's 10:45 already. Listen, as we know now, the Saudi Arabian investment in combat sports, in fact, in culture, sport, entertainment, all those things, is beyond what anyone ever imagined. The man, the woman, the child, the grandmother, the grandfather on the street now knows what Riyadh season is. They didn't 5 months ago. It's an extraordinary festival of mixed martial arts tonight. As you say, let's not do any spoilers because there are people who will be out and about tonight and then going home to watch it. Not everyone's watching it live. I think Francis Ngannou has got this amazing opportunity to herald a new era in mixed martial arts in Africa with the PFL and the buyout of Bellator. It's an extraordinary moment for him. And as you know, Adam, if he beats, I know we'll talk about this, if he beats Anthony Joshua, and he's got a chance, he's got a puncher's chance, he's a dangerous fighter, as we saw against Tyson Fury back in October, he has the opportunity to be the Bellator / PFL heavyweight champion and fight for the undisputed title if he beats Anthony Joshua. That man has got the Rocky Balboa story in his blood.
Oh, listen, Francis Ngannou's story is one of the greatest in combat sports, whether it be in MMA, boxing, whatever you call it. It is. It's movie stuff. It's going to be Hollywood one day, no doubt about it.
I think animated movie is what I've said because there's so little footage of photographic evidence of his early life. 9 people living in a mud hut in Douala, Cameroon. I think it's the age of him, like 300, yeah? A graphic novel and movie. Okay. Oh, man, he's straight out of Sparta.
Yes.
Straight out of Sparta.
My take on the news this week from PFL is that it was a little bit of a marketing ploy. Obviously, tonight they're trying to get eyeballs on their event, and rightfully so. Why would you not? You've got heavyweights in the main event, the PFL champion against the Bellator champion, and obviously, in order to drive that, then you need a bit of a narrative, you need a bit of a story. Francis Ngannou, the former UFC champion, he's going to be taking on the winner, so you would use that as a marketing ploy. For me, I genuinely believe, and listen, I might be completely wrong, but I genuinely believe that if Francis Ngannou wins on March the 8th, which is a week on Friday coming, then it's going to be a very long time before we see him back in MMA because he's presented with an opportunity. If you're beating the 2-time unified heavyweight champion, Olympic gold medalist, and you are being told by Turki Al-Sheikh that the winner of that fight is then going to go on to fight for the undisputed against the winner of Usyk and Tyson Fury, I personally don't believe that Francis Ngannou will deviate, go back into MMA at any point before he gets that opportunity. And I'd even go as far as to say this. If he loses against Anthony Joshua, the obvious would be to look at it, well, he's going to go back to MMA now because he's just been pitched the PFL thing. I think there's another fight for him in boxing. I really do. Given the performance that he's put in against Tyson Fury, he's got Anthony Joshua. I'm backing Anthony Joshua to win that fight. I think Joshua comes through. If Ngannou doesn't come through, Deontay Wilder needs an opponent. Deontay Wilder did not look good at all against Joseph Parker, did he? And I think for a lot of casual boxing fans, if you were to build Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou, regardless of what happens on March the 8th, I think people would buy it.
They might. I think Wilder needs a win first. And I do think that given that there's a 2-fight deal between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, given their styles, given that it could be a very, very close fight, I just feel that they'll fight twice and that'll take up 2024, Adam.
Do you
think... I think Francis, like you say, if he wins, it will come down to the most influential figure in combat sports right now, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, to say, right, let's get that deal done. I want him fighting Wilder, as you say, or I want him in a rematch with Anthony Joshua if it's extraordinary, for example. Yes, and I'm throwing $50 million at it. But I just feel that there's a big thing to play out. I don't think they'll throw Ngannou at the undisputed heavyweight title quite yet. I think he's got some obligations with the Professional Fighters League in MMA, and I think he'll have an MMA fight you'll see in 2024. That's my understanding behind the scenes.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It's fascinating.
It's all down on a week on Friday.
Best half boxing year of scheduled fights I can ever remember in 33 years.
Really?
Yeah. First 6 months. And it promises more in the latter half of the year.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.